Hello. It's been a really, really long time since I posted a talking video. I'm hoping to get back into doing this because it really keeps me on point and remembering to be clear in my thought process. So I'm here for it and I'm back. These times I want to talk about narcissism has been a major thing this year. Codependency, setting boundaries, and asking for consent are major things that we as a society and as in our own interpersonal relationships, I've had to reevaluate and transform, right? And so basically, I feel like it's been trending this year, the whole narcissist archetype, and really understanding what that looks like and how that shows up in our relationships with people and in ourselves, because all of us have a capacity to be a narcissist or to be a codependent, and being able to recognize that, and which dynamic you're playing out in different situations, can really show us a lot about who we are and what we're allowing to happen in our lives. And it's about also reclaiming our power back and being able to say, no to someone or something or a situation that is situations that are not good for us, which we need to be able to catch and be honest with ourselves, because a lot of the times we find ourselves in the situations with manipulative and controlling people who are seeking to control our minds and our emotions, without our consent, right? And a lot of the times these type of negative, like, people or things with the agenda to do that, they don't ask for consent, but us allowing it to happen unbeknownst to us and unconsciously or subconsciously allowing it is consent. And so it really does take a lot of vigilance to be able to catch it, right? Because a lot of these things can come out covertly. Like, it can seem like it's good. There's like this sugar coat right around it. And I want to talk about, like, this thing. It's not just one particular person. It can happen in AI, artificial intelligence, or the media and the narratives that we're being fed, and how those narratives are shaping the way that we are perceiving our reality, right? And so when you think about all these different layers that we're constantly bombarded by, other people or things, stories that we're consuming, music and all that stuff, what are we allowing to control or to dictate how we are living in this reality or understanding or perceiving. So it can create chaos and confusion in a lot of people, and also this anxiety and this fear and this dread of just like too much information, right? The age of information that we're living in is great and a blessing, but it can also be hell, right? This is what we've created. We've created the amount of information that we have access to right now is mind-blowing, right? But then now you're in this forest and you have to kind of figure out which path to take, which information to consume, figure out which is going to lead you to to the truth, and which place is going to keep you in this labyrinth of confusion, right? And that is hell in itself. So mental confusion actually comes from the inability to see the evolutionary context that will give us the ability to reframe our thought forms and belief systems and structures and habits and things like that. So when we don't have an understanding of the bigger picture, then it's easy to get lost. in this cycle, this karmic loop we get stuck in. So it really is important to be able to grab hold of like the new, bigger, higher frequencies that's we're actually receiving. So on top of all the information that we're receiving here in this physical reality, we're also receiving photonic information from the sun. So the Schumann resonance basically measures the frequencies that we're receiving from solar flares coming from the sun, and it's entering our electromagnetic field here on Earth, and so we're basically synthesizing those energies. And so anyways, this is part of also what's happening here, how that's also affecting us here, with everything that's going on this Earth plane, right? All of the situation with the coronavirus and the politics and the Black Lives Matter movement, and just this chaos that we're all experiencing right now is because we are integrating higher frequencies that is bringing up all of these lower frequencies that needs to be addressed, so that we can release them and find inner balance again. Basically 2020 is balance, right? This is what we need to be focusing on. This is where the growth and the clarity and understanding of what's happening here, as this is an evolutionary process that we're going through as a planet, okay? And so if we see it from that perspective, it's easier to get a grasp of it, and also to be able to grab onto something bigger in order to release the lower dimensional plane, right? So that we can ascend to the next level of consciousness. It's the next tier of consciousness, right? That we are working towards. Like, this is what we are being forced to. Okay, we're not even working towards it. They didn't even give us an option, but we're just here. If we don't trust that evolutionary process, we will get pummeled and hammered by these energies. And so a lot of people that are suffering right now is basically a resistance to that ascension.